a weird way, because if not, you're contagious. Anyways, Mike Robles, Emmy award winning pioneer of Latino comedy, man. Before we start this, first of all, thank you for taking the time to talk to me right now. It's honestly a great honor, and I wanted to say something before we started. I remember being 9, 10 years old. My parents would tune in, like I think every Friday, I believe it was, to the local comedy jam, and I would see all these Latino comics. And I was a little kid. I was 9 years old, 8 years old, but I would tune in because they would make me laugh. You know what I mean? And at that time, I never thought about being a stand-up comedian myself, but I would look forward for my parents to watch this so I can watch it myself. So it's truly a great honor. And then now with the position I'm doing stand-up comedy now, and it started from way back then, just so the love of comedy. I like seeing Latinos as a kid be up there and be silly and be funny. Just kind of reminded me of my uncles and stuff like that. So there's always roots to Latino comedy, and you're one of the pioneers, man, and I'm very grateful for what you've done for the scene, especially for Latinos, man. Thank you so much.
Well, that's nice. I feel old. First of all, I feel old. Excuse me. You were 9 years old watching Que Locos. It's like, damn. But that's good. But Que Locos created a platform that exposed a lot of Latino comedians that nobody knew about. But it also had people like your age, 9 years old, 15 years old, that went on to do comedy. There's a lot of you out there, as far as they saw Que Locos and now they're doing comedy. So I guess it's good. I never imagined that would happen, but it's nice hearing what you're saying. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I saw some of your videos. You talked about the other time about how people don't really want to hear Latino comedy anymore, or that Latino style of comedy. That it's kind of dying out. Or somewhere along those lines. You know what I mean?
I don't think Latino comedy. Can I have some water? Yes. No, it'll never die out. Latino comedy will never die out. Matter of fact, I think we need to see more of it on television and the media. There's enough of that. I remember one of the reasons I did Que Locos was because there wasn't enough Latino comedy on TV. Now, you're talking about Que Locos 20 years ago. And here we are 20 years later. I would ask you to name me another show like Que Locos that's on TV.
There isn't.
There isn't any. So my question is always, why is that?
That's
true. There's a lot of funny of us out there. So my drum that I always beat is we need to get more shows on TV. We need to create more shows. I'm talking about stand-up comedy now. We need to get it more out there. There's no reason why there's no more Latino comedy shows, stand-up out there. It just bugs the hell out of me, man. So yeah, I would like to see more of it, actually. But there's plenty of Latino comedians around, which is good. But now we need another platform like a Que Locos to get them exposed to the whole country, to let them know, check out this generation of Latino comedians. That's what we need. But I did my part.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people that came out of Que Locos are still working now. They like Fluffy, Felipe, as far as all these guys. Why do you think maybe some people like them at their caliber, they haven't done anything? Like I think Fluffy attempted one called Stand Up Revolution or something like that. We had a lot of Latino comics.
Right.
Why doesn't it continue? Why does it shut down so quickly?
I just think that, first of all, it depends the station you're on. You got to be committed. Like we did our show on Galavisión. Galavisión was committed to doing this. So we were around. Comedy Central, they might like one season or two. These days you have to understand, TV, they'll cut your show off in 1 year, man. You could be 3 episodes in, and they'll cut your whole season. So it's not like it was.
Sorry. Hold on, Mike. Hold on. I know, but I'm declining it because I got it to work now. Thank you. I'll call you back. All right, bye. Sorry. It's because I was sending people to call me so I can fix this stuff, and they're calling me while we're trying to type whatever. I'm sorry to interrupt you. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, so what I'm saying is it's not the same TV today than it was then. Today you have all these cable stations, so they don't have the patience to have a show on if it's not working, or even if it's working. Maybe 1 year, get it out, put something new. So it's kind of different now as far as a show coming on the air and sticking for a while. So I think the show you mentioned, Stand Up Revolution, had its run, 3 years, and that was good. But these days, man, it's one show in, one show out. But that doesn't mean though there shouldn't be more Latino comedy shows coming in. So like you said, Stand Up Revolution, okay, whatever. Why isn't there another show out there?
Mm-hmm.
We have all these cable stations out there. You know, I think TBS is doing comedy, True TV is doing comedy, Comedy 7 with HBO, Showtime. Why isn't there a weekly stand-up comedy show featuring Latinos?
Yeah, I
I don't.
feel like maybe it could be that the Latino comedy game has evolved so much because now I know a lot of Latino comics that don't really center their act around Latino culture. It's just basic observational comedy in general, that can relate to everyone and not just pandering to Latinos, or in my case, like Mexicans. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that do the whole Mexican, like, oh, hey, and do
Yeah,
impressions.
yeah, but
But
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Latino comedians who do comedy. I'm not talking about you know doing Latino comedy and talking about La Raza or that. No, because that would after a while, how many of those shows can you see?
yeah,
So
okay, I
I'm
see what you
talking
mean.
about, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of Latino comedians out there, like myself included. I mean, there's Fluffy out there, Felipe. They're comedians who happen to be Latino.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when we did Get Locals, most of these guys were just doing their acts. Not many of them were doing, Rasta material or taco material. They were just being funny. Besides, I couldn't book
Mm-hmm.
a show like that because I would say, like, how many of these comedians back to back can we book? So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, Latino comedy in the sense of talking about your race or your culture. I mean, you can have a bit on it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about there's plenty of Latino comedians out there who are funny and, like you said, observational, talk about their life. I mean, that's the other thing you have to understand. A lot of people, when we think of locals, white people, I mean, people who are not Latino, would tell me, I learned so much about the Latino culture because I saw the world through the perspective of Latinos.
Mm.
You see? So I have a white perspective and then I have a way of black people, how they look at America. But how do Latinos look at America? And that's what I'm talking about. We have a view, we have a perspective, we have a voice. And by not being on TV, you take that voice away. And that's how Latinos are, right? We, like you said, observational. So we
Mm.
might look at the coronavirus in a completely different way than a white guy.
Yeah.
What is a Latino's perspective? And we don't have that. That's what I'm talking about. And there's plenty of
Yeah.
Latinos funnies out there that unfortunately don't have the platform for America to see.
Yeah, and I guess those that do have the platform, it's just too much to invest, and like to separate from their own careers, and too much to invest in this whole other thing in this whole show when they already have something going on for themselves.
You see, that's where it comes in. At what level do you reach in comedy where you can now share a stage, create a show, do
Mm-hmm.
something that, in other words, create a platform? There's some of us out there who are just, me, and that's okay. They do it for themselves, but eventually
Yeah,
we reach a point in our career where what are you going to contribute back now to as far as platforms? I've always been about creating platforms. It started way before K Locals, and it started after. I did Local Comedy Jam. I always, to me, like I'm talking about right now, is it was always important for me to have a platform for Latino comedies to have a voice with, comedians. And I'm happy to
yeah,
say I did that. I would like to see more of that. I don't know why. But like you said, if some of the heavyweights, without mentioning names, but if some of the heavyweights, not only comedians, but even producers said, you know what, let's put a kick-ass show together, we could do it tomorrow. It's
yeah,
not like because we don't know how. It's like exactly to your point, what you said. How many of us are going to take the time and go, you know what, let me see how I can contribute back now. You're right.
yeah. I think that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. And how about like things like HBO Latino that they have some stand-up specials? You think that's one of the last remaining things to actually showcase, I guess, Latino talent or Latino comedy?
I think it's great. You're showcasing one individual, just one comic. I'm talking about a platform where you can have three
Yeah,
or four comedians on a show. So yeah, the guys on HBO Latino, I mean, I've seen some of them, and it's pretty funny. But I'm not talking about specials. I'm talking about a stand-up comedy series, like a Que Locos. And it's got to be done right. Some of them tried it, but, it's also important that the production is pretty good. It's not just the comedians, but if I'm looking at the show and it's a crappy production, I'm probably not gonna watch.
Of course.
You know, so.
Yeah. So what happened with like Que Locos and the Comedy Jam? Like why was that subsiding throughout the years more and more, or was it just a quick? Because like I said, I watched for a while because like I was a young kid. I wasn't really taking comedy serious at the time, or it wasn't even in my mind. But did you notice a decline, or was it just a sudden halt when it came to those shows?
I'll tell you real quick. So Que Locos is like a rocket ship. It just boom blasted into space, man. And then all of a sudden, the president of Univision, that owns Gallery Show,
Yeah.
calls me into his office and tells me, Univision is predominantly a Spanish-speaking station, and we got to stick to our roots. So unless you can do Que Locos and have these comedians do it in Spanish, we can't do Que Locos no more. And that pretty much was the end of that. You're talking about 2000. You're talking about the year 2000. I mean, get me a group of comedians who can do it in Spanish like that. I mean, and that's what it wasn't about. This was for the English-speaking Latinos. That's where I was coming from. So that's what happened. It wasn't like any decline at all. Matter of fact, we showed them emails, letters, people calling about Que Locos, don't cancel the show. I walked in with a stack of emails saying, look, man, our ratings, we're getting better ratings than Lucha Libre, better than soap operas, and better than soccer. Imagine that on Spanish TV. Wrestling, soccer, and novelas. And Que Locos was on top of them.
Wow.
And yet, we were taken off the air. And to their credit, I mean, I think I had like 6 more episodes to do. And to their credit, they paid me, but I never did the episodes. But that's what happened to Que Locos. Very simple. There's always a lot of rumors out there. But it's very simple. Univision said, we're Spanish speaking only, no more English, have a nice day. That was it. And to this day, Univision has never had, or Galavision has never had anything in English. They don't even accept English speaking commercials, bro.
That's insane to me.
That's billions of dollars that they go, no. So they're sticking to their roots. They're sticking to their roots.
It seems like it was more of a prideful move because when it comes to ratings, it didn't make sense to get rid of local comedy jam or Que Locos just by the ratings. So this was more like a pride thing. Like they just wanted to showcase, oh no, we're Spanish speaking people and we should show that.
Well, no, I tell you exactly how the executives think at a TV station. So I'm going in there, just like you said, I go, well, listen, we have a 4.0 rating. How you gonna get that audience, that rating? You're gonna eliminate 4. He goes, we'll just substitute it. We'll just take your show off. We'll put more wrestling, and wrestling gets a good rating. So in other words, it wasn't about ratings. It wasn't about ratings. In other words, it wasn't like they were going to put a crappy show on, they get no rating. So it wasn't about ratings. It's about, like you said, one is that prideful thing. And the other thing was, it costs money to produce Que Locos. If you look at Galavision programming, bro, most of that stuff comes out of Mexico. And they buy content for like $100 a show. It's cheap.
Yeah,
I mean, you see movies from the 50s, bro.
So basically, they were doing what real people do in America, and they get cheap labor. They just took some quality stuff down, and they added cheap labor to fill in those spots, basically.
Look at Gallery Show programming, bro, and you'll see what I mean. This is 2020, bro, and you're looking at shit like from I don't know what year, man. But it's only like $100 a pop, bro. Cheap labor, like you said.
What a shame! What a shame, man. I mean, I wouldn't know, because I'm not in that industry yet. I'm just literally just a guy that goes on the road and hits stages, right? That's all I do for right now. But you've been in the inside, you've been in the belly of the beast. So to get that insight is just, what's it gonna take, man? You made me think a lot when I saw that video that you did on Facebook. You made me think a lot, and it's like, why isn't there another platform like that? Even like stuff like Def Comedy Jam, you know what I mean? Like there's no more variety comedian shows where there's a variety of comedians anymore. And do you think it's maybe because nowadays it would probably be more expensive to pay each comic? But at the same time, I'm just backtracking myself, and it's like, no, because hungry comedians are hungry comedians, and they want any kind of exposure. You know what I mean?
Now, these stable stations, they have budgets to do shows. If they really wanted to do it, they would do it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I just don't think we have as many Latinos who are powerful or on the inside, like you said, any producers. I mean, a lot of powerful Latinos out there who get together, collaborate, and say, let's put a kick-ass show together.
That would be amazing.
I mean, how hard is that, man? You know, it's not. So to answer your question, why is there one out there? I think because, you know what? Because we don't really make a lot of noise. I want to say Latinos, we have, you know, our bark is bigger than our bite. But we really don't. We really don't do nothing, man. You think if this was like an African American thing that went on TV, there won't be noise out there? Like, we're gonna change this shit, and they did.
Yeah,
and they changed it. They created a station called BET. So you don't want to put us on TV? We'll create our own thing.
Yeah,
you know. So I don't know,
true.
man. I mean, I can't think of any reason why it's not out there. Like, it can't be money. It can't be talent. We have the talent. We have enough powerful people in Hollywood. You know what I was thinking about the other day, man?
Yeah.
You notice, like, when you have these live shows, I'm talking about these black live shows, black comedy, Latino, not that Latino nights. When you have these urban nights, and you always have all these black celebrities in the audience. Hey, look who showed up to the show, you know, and it's a basketball player, it's an actor, it's a singer. There's always celebrities in the audience. I don't know if you noticed this. They show up to support the black comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
I
noticed,
know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go to a live show and it's like, oh shit, that's so-and-so from that show. Oh shit, that's so-and-so. Tell me the last time you went to a Latino comedy show and you saw a Latino celebrity.
I can't tell you.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You see, it's support, man. It's all around support. But for some reason, I don't know if it's a mentality that we think, you know, I got to get my piece of the pie. Let him do his thing. I got to worry about myself. And that'll never get you the whole pie, bro. It's a big thing. I think it's a cultural thing, too, how we think, bro. But I don't want to go deep into that. But I'm just saying, we don't collaborate enough with each other to create something big. You know?
Yeah.
We don't.
Oh man, yeah. It is a.
I don't mean to be on a bummer, but on the bright side, though, there's plenty of us out there, and I'm sure somebody's going to come along, and they'll create a show like that, or something to put our voices when it comes to comedy, English-speaking voices, out there. It has to be. Right?
I know a lot of people that are doing lower budget things. I mean, they're not on TV, but they are. They put shows specifically based on just showcasing Latino comics. You know.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
I know a buddy of mine. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, you know, that's the other thing that. So what we can do also at the same time is create our own shows. We can't wait around for somebody to make it happen for us. I can't tell you how many of these young Latinos, they just sit there waiting. Okay, so I'm going to hit the stages. I'm going to be funny. I'm going to get an agent. And then the agent's going to get me a special. And then what? I never did it the traditional way. What I'm saying is you can do that. But don't sit at home expecting or waiting for someone to make your career happen. The only one that can make your career happen is you. So how do I do that? Well, I get on stage as often as I can, and I create. What do I mean by that? Create shows, man. I mean, create stand-up showcases, like you said. You know, do podcasting. Just create content. Get it out there. Because to me, it's always been not how many people see your content, but the right people that see your content. There's a big difference. I don't care if I have 500,000 views, but if I get 1,000 views, but that 1,000 is that one right person who might be able to give me a show, that's what I'm looking for. But if I don't create content, no one's going to know who you are, man. And that's what I did. You know, I went back in the day, I did a show in the Bronx called Comedy Roomba. And this show was about another platform, and I put it on public access. Now, I don't know if you have, I think every state, every city has a public access station. Go down to your public access station. Tell them you want to put a show together. It's free. You could put it.
Does that still exist?
I believe so, bro. Everyone has it. But you see, what I'm saying is, you say, does that still exist? And that's what I mean. not many people know that it still does exist. So therefore, if you went down there, you'd be one of the few shows on probably. But at least see you're producing something and you have content for maybe somebody to see it. You gotta create your own content. It's very important.
That's
Don't
true,
wait
but at
around.
this day and age, I mean, if we do the public access thing, I don't think it's gonna have a far reach nowadays because now everything's social
No,
media
but see,
based.
but see again, you're missing the point. It's not about having a far reach, bro. I'm just talking about okay, so it doesn't have what reach do you want? The reach of Showtime? We're talking
No,
about public. We're talking about
just a
public
reach of
access.
thousands of people, like thousands of people. You know what I mean? And you can do that online now. When public access, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's only people that are in the retirement homes watching that shit.
No. There's people who live in that city watching that shit. You'd be surprised. They're eyeballs. But the whole point I'm making is you've created a show. You've created a platform. Who cares, bro? Even if there's 10 people or 1,000 people watching, you created a platform. That's 1,000 more people that know about your platform, know about who these Latino comedians are. And not only that, you're using public access as a platform to go to a bigger show. So I created the show, like you said, who's watching? Who's watching? Well, I'm on public access. I'm doing stand-up comedy, just like that. Who's watching? Well, it just so happened that the president assistant to Galavision was watching. She said, "Hey, boss, I just saw this show on public access in the Bronx. It's really funny. I want you to check it out." The boss checked it out. Long story short, boom, here comes Scale Locals.
Yeah, well, okay,
So you see
that
what I'm
makes a
saying?
lot more sense. Yeah, I know
That,
what you mean.
but now some of them see. So the other mentality is, you know what? I want to hit the home run now. I want to do a show, but I want millions to see it. Oh, that's good. But you got to build, bro. You got to build. I noticed this generation, not that I'm putting myself at an old age, bro, but you work at what you want, you work hard at what you want, and you be patient. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You just want to get to where you want to go. I want to get to 1 million people, but it's not like that quick. I'd like to get there that quick, but I have to understand it doesn't happen that way. So, yeah, build. Public access, it's funny because, like you said, like who's watching Opie? You don't know who's watching, bro. But it gets you in
That's
a
true.
creative. It gets you in a creative mode. It also gets you in a learning experience of how to build a show for TV. You know how to do a show for TV? You
Yeah,
do one for public access. So you learn along the way, and people are watching. And from there, you don't know who's going to watch it. You can use it as a trailer. You can send it to a Showtime. You can send it to a cable station and say, check it out. This is what I'm doing. They go, oh, really? You see? Public, it has all its advantages. Don't look at it that way. Because nobody, if you're doing comedy for a couple of years, nobody's gonna take you serious. Showtime, oh yeah, you want to do? Who are you? You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? When you deal with the big leagues, bro, they gotta have an idea of who you are. But I'm saying is public access. I use an example on any other shows. I mean, on the internet, whatever it is. I mean, public access. Then how about one just do it online?
yeah. That makes
I mean, you
sense.
got the internet. I mean, that's more eyeballs, right? There's so many. I guess what I'm saying is there's so many outlets for you, for us Latino comedians, to create a show or create shows and put it out there. So going back to what you're saying, a lot of us just want to do stand up. Me. How many are out there creating shows, stand up shows? I'm talking about, not sketches, but stand up comedy shows that are out there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. I have my own stand-up show too, but it's not obviously recorded or anything like that. But yeah, there's a lot of comedians that are running their own showcases nowadays. Um, like back in your day, you had your own room. You said in the Bronx, right? Or was it the public access thing, or was it just a
Okay.
comedy show that you put on?
Public access show,
Okay.
and then the public access show uh, got so popular that then I started booking my show at Caroline's Comedy on Broadway in New York.
Oh,
Yeah. See, so again, when you create something, you just open the possibilities of so much shit happening. Or
yeah.
whether it's for the internet. Like if I put a show on the internet or public access tomorrow, I probably have a better chance of you. I have a better chance than you of getting something done because I have something out there. You don't have nothing out there. What are you waiting? What are you sitting at home waiting for? What? Your agent to call you? What are you waiting exactly to do?
Like, yeah, I know what you mean.
You
But I
know,
mean,
to me, it's putting
it
horses.
comes.
You got to put horses on the racetrack, bro. More horses you have on the racetrack, the better chance you have of winning.
Yeah, what you're basically saying is stop being fucking lazy. That's what you're saying. Keep pushing forward. Because I mean, and I know I'm just
I'm not
saying
saying just
for
being lazy. Let's put it this way. What I'm trying to say is take action.
yeah.
That's better. Take action. You have an idea, take action. Follow through on it. No. Rather than just talk about it, just take action. What does he want to
Don't
do?
stay complacent.
Yeah, take action, whatever it is. Because, I can take you to the door, but the only one that can walk through the door is you. You got to take action. I can't create your success. I can lead you the way. I mean, look at what the Showcase Logos did for a lot of people. Gabriel Iglesias, George Lopez, Felipe Esparza. I was able to use that platform and launch it for them. But the other ones had to take action on it.
Yeah, no,
So,
that makes so much sense. And let me ask you, switching the topic, but not entirely. What's the next? I know you're going through some stuff. You got a little sick and stuff. But what's the next thing for Mike Robles?
well, right now, the next thing for me is to, excuse me, these days when you call people, go, right now they're watching, they're probably thinking they have the coronavirus, right? It's a little phlegm, a little phlegm, a little phlegm. Right now, since I've gotten sick, right now my battle really is to stay healthy, to be honest with you. I do fundraisers now, I do shows here and there. But like you said, 3-4 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, multiple myeloma, which is the cancer of the blood. And it spread into my kidneys and messed up my kidneys. So I'm dealing with a lot of health issues. Shooting. So what's next is basically staying alive. That's what's next for me. And as far as
Yeah,
projects, still writing, because my mind is still there. So I do a lot of writing. I'm in the process now of writing a book of all my experiences. Man, it's like 25 years worth. So there's a lot of insights there. So I'm in the process of writing a book right now, and just keeping my
cool.
mind busy that way, writing.
And are you selling by any chance? Because I'm helping out comedians too whenever they come on the show.
Hmm.
If you have any like links to maybe like a fundraising thing or any merch that you might be selling.
Yeah, well, I have, you can go to my website, which is MikeRobles.com,
Okay.
MikeRobles.com. And I also have a GoFundMe account I created. It's GoFundMe. I just look for Mike Robles. I'll be there. And it's to
Yeah,
help,
yeah.
with
Just send me all
medical
the
expenses
information.
and stuff.
I'll
Yeah.
put it on the screen. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
We wanna help out any way we can, man. And especially for someone like you, like I said, you paved the way for a lot. And that time that you were speaking on Facebook about why isn't there any more shows like this, it really touched me.
Mhm.
I remember
Yeah.
I messaged a lot of my comedy friends, and I was like, I never really saw it that way. Like I was questioning after like why isn't there anything like that anymore? It was so
Oh,
much fun.
you
It
could be
was
the
so
next
much
one.
fun.
You could be the next
Yeah.
one. Go
Why
ahead and do
not?
it.
Why not?
Why not?
And if you ever feel like getting any stage time when you're feeling a little bit better, my room is always gonna be your room. Whenever you want to come down, we'll take care of you down here, Mike.
Where are you at? You haven't
I'm
told me.
in
Wait.
Laredo, Texas. You're in San
Oh,
Antonio, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. San Antonio.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours away.
That's
So
not
I mean,
bad. Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
not that bad. It's not that bad, and we'll take good care of you down here, Mike. And just wanted to say, so right now, and this pandemic that's going on, what are your thoughts on that, man? It's affecting a lot of comics. Obviously,
Yeah.
everyone's acting like junkies, doing online open mics. I don't know if you've seen that.
Too bad. Too much. Keep off, bro. There's nothing worse than bombing online, bro. It's sad to see. Well, comedians, but we need an audience, man. Let's face it, right? I mean, we could try out jokes, but I was watching Jimmy Fallon the other day, and he was doing the monologue, and without an audience, man, you can't. You know what I'm saying? You need an audience. So I know we're trying to do it. I'd rather put YouTube clips of shows that we did
Yeah,
than coming live right now and doing a 5-minute set. You know how Facebook is vicious, bro. That's not funny, you know, whatever. But to answer your question is, it seems now like the whole world, bro, is in a timeout, man. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's a timeout that, you know, who knows how long. But hey, man, you know, we've been through worse. We were, you know, through 9/11, if you remember that. And
Yeah.
now we got this 20 years later, coronavirus, you know. So, you know, we'll it's just, it's managing everything. And, you know, I can compare it to when I got sick. You know, one day I'm walking down the street, everything's great, right? The birds are whistling, and life is great for me, bro. And then just like that, you have cancer. Just like that.
Wow.
So it was taken away. It was taken away. So what do I do? You know, well, you know, cry about it, get pissed off. You go through all these emotions, but at the end of the day, what you realize is I got to now manage this new lifestyle. I got to accept it and manage it. And it's the same thing with the coronavirus. You know, what do you do? Well, I can cry about it, can, you know, go through the emotion. But at the end of the day, we just got to manage this new thing that's been thrown on us, man. Knowing at the end, we're all going to be all right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, hey, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, man. I really was looking forward for this for a long time, and sorry for the whole technical thing. I'm not very tech savvy, but I do
Yeah,
my
me neither.
best. Yeah,
It's all
and
good.
yeah, brother. Like I said, I hope you get well, and I hope you just keep writing and keep just doing what you love doing. And I hope
Definitely.
to see you on the stage soon, because I know that's never gonna go away from you, no matter what
Nah,
happens.
this is my last show, by the way. I know you can see it behind me.
I've been seeing it.
Yeah, that's Caroline's on Broadway. It was March 1st, bro. This is like a week before that whole coronavirus shit. Isn't that crazy?
That's fucking crazy.
The timing, man. I went in and I went out, man. I wasn't gonna get sick in New York, man. But we made it happen. So that's the last show. We'll see when the next live show is.
We'll see. Hopefully soon, Mike. Well, thank you so much, man. I hope you have a wonderful day.
All right,
Stay
bro.
safe. Keep drinking tea and beat that coronavirus.
That's it, bro. Just gotta take care of yourself, though.
Yeah, I am.
Wash your
I'm in
hands.
quarantine. I've been here. This is what I've been doing this whole time. Just staying at home. I'm naked under this. I'm not even wearing
All
pants, dude.
right. Yeah, me
Yeah.
too, bro. Let me show you. Watch. Nah,
Oh shit.
I know
Oh
this is.
man.
We won't go there.
All right, Mike. Well, I'm gonna let you go, man, and
All right, bro.
I'll put up all your links. And like I said, well, we'll talk soon, brother.
All right, appreciate it. Good set, bro.